Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode on Let's Talk About Us with Uche. For today, I'm going to be talking about war against spirituality. War against spirituality. So, before I get started, please, if you're new to my podcast, please subscribe, download, share, like. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell notification so anytime I post a video, you'll be able to see it right away. Also, please follow me on every single social media platform. I am on Facebook at Let's Talk About Us with Uche, Instagram at Let's Talk with Uche, and my website is www.letstalkaboutus.org. That's www.letstalkaboutus.org. So, a few months ago, I was visiting someone in Atlanta, and we were riding an Uber. And I remember I was having a conversation with the Uber driver. And one thing led to another. He seems really spiritual, very religious, and I am very spiritual. So we're just having a conversation. I love talking to strangers, because you just never know what you may learn from them. I enjoy deep conversations with whoever I can find around me. So I was talking to this guy, and he'd mentioned something that struck me so strongly, and I still remember it till today. He basically said that the more you seek spirituality, the more you see the hurt in the world. So basically, the more you seek spirituality, the more spiritual you are, as in the real definition of spirituality, not just basically trying to see it, make it seem like you're doing something cool or whatnot. No, like actual definition of spirituality. To me, definition of spirituality is understanding, or at least believing, that there's more to us than the physical. I believe that there are three things that make up a person: physical, mental, and spiritual. So understanding that there's more than the physical. I know that in today's world we talk about mental health here and there, but I feel like nobody's talking about spirituality enough. So yes, there's more to us than spirituality. There's more to us than physical. So basically, the more you seek spirituality, the more you see the hurt in the world. So when you open your eyes more to the physical that's been bombarded on us every single day, you see that there's more. There's a lot of mess in the world. There's a lot of, issues in the world that you would not be able to see if you didn't have spirituality. So the more you see spirituality, the more you see the hurt in the world. And the more you see the hurt in the world, the more you seek spirituality. Sort of like a loop. Growing up, I was like I mentioned in previous episodes, I was born in Nigeria. I was born and raised in Nigeria, and unfortunately, I wasn't born to in the most ideal household. I didn't really grow up with my parents. I didn't have mom and dad there, and the people I grew up with, they give me basically basic support. They weren't really role models per se. I can't think of anyone growing up that I looked up to as, I want to be like this person when I grow up, someone who can influence me positively, that kind of stuff. So a lot of my spirituality, I didn't really have a whole lot. I grew up in a Christian home, so the regular go to church every Saturday or Sunday, if you go to church on Sundays. Wake up, get dressed, pray to God and things like that. So I didn't really understand spirituality. I didn't even understand religion. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't think the people I grew up with understood religion. I don't think they understood the God that they were worshiping. I don't think so. That's just me. I can't speak for them, but personally, when you're going to church and you're learning certain things, but then you don't act those certain things out for the people who know you, because what you're reading from the Bible, at least what you claim to be reading from the Bible, don't necessarily reflect your life. It makes me question you. So yeah, because of that, religion for me, it was just a thing that I had to do, sort of like a to-do list on my to-do list. I would pray, I would go to church, I would read the Bible, just because it was just a thing. It wasn't until I moved to America, and I was going through a whole lot of things. Even prior to moving to America, I had a lot of mental health problems. I had a whole lot of even physical problems as well. I was always sick and whatnot. It wasn't until I moved to America, I went through a whole lot of things, personal things, depression, extreme anxiety, suicidal ideations. I was just lost in the world. There was a time in my life that, that was the most scariest, actually. And this has happened for a while. But one thing led to another. I was still able to find my way. When I look back, I can confidently say that God was with me the entire time without even me knowing that God was with me. There was a time that I lost my faith in religion. I stopped going to church. I stopped praying because I thought it just made no sense. If there was a God, why would I be suffering like this? Why would this be happening? I was even homeless at a particular time before I even joined the military. It was pretty bad. I remember so many things that happened, but somehow in a really eerie way, I was pulled through. The way I describe it to my friends is with each struggle that I had back then, between the ages of maybe 18, 19, all the way to approximately 23, 24, it was always like I would hit rock bottom each time. But the really strange thing is, every time I hit rock bottom, a door magically opened for me. Magically. It's so strange. So it's more so a matter of, are you going to walk through that door, or are you just going to sit there complaining? And looking back, introspecting down into my life, it felt like there was somebody or something or some type of energy or some type of spirit that was definitely there behind me the entire time. And it's got to be God. It's got to be some type of spirit. That's one of the reasons why I'm very spiritual, and it's definitely boosted my confidence. I feel like I'm basically invincible, not in an arrogant way or cocky way or anything. It's just confidence, I believe that there's someone or something or some being out there who is definitely looking out for me. So again, because I believe this, because this being or this entity has definitely manifested itself or himself or herself, I don't know what this entity is, but because it's been manifested into my life, it's definitely made me more curious. And I've become more spiritual, and I've become more awake, more observant, and I'm starting to see a whole lot of mess in the world. Which is why, with everything that I'm noticing, I feel like there's a conscious war against spirituality. I do want to say that there's a difference between religion and spirituality. That's just my opinion. If you disagree, that's okay. That's just my opinion. I believe that religion is a medium through which people can find spirituality. You don't necessarily need religion. There are a lot of people who are truly spiritual, but they've never been to a church, they've never been to a mosque, they've never had any type of any type of religious affiliations whatsoever. Right now, I don't affiliate with religion right now, even though I was born and raised Christian. I don't have anything against religion at all. A lot of people that I've communicated with or talked to about this kind of topic have generally thought that I am anti-religion, which is so not true. I still very much respect religion. I respect every single form of religion, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Sikhism, whatever it's called. Any religion out there, I definitely respect it. However, I would say though that from my experience and from my observation, I feel like not everyone who practices these religions believe in spirituality, or at least are able to attain spirituality. And the reason why I say that is because being Christian, and again, Christianity is the only religion that I've been the most exposed to, so I can only speak on Christianity. So being Christian, I've observed a lot of so-called Christians go to church, sing, do all the praying and fasting and all that stuff that is written in the Bible. But then when you look at their personal lives, they act like they know it all. But when you look at their personal lives, the things that they do, the way they treat people, the way they talk, the way they act, so many things about them are just complete opposite of what they claim to represent. I believe that when you're defining Christianity is supposed to be Christ-like. And when you watch some of these people, the way they live their lives, there's absolutely nothing Christ-like about them. So that kind of robbed me the wrong way. So I'm just like, okay, no, I'm going to just go out here and find my truth in my own way without any type of outside influence. And from there, I had an open mind. I had to open my mind up. Coming from Nigeria, there's a lot of closed-mindedness, and this is not to insult Nigerians at all, but I'm just being honest. A lot of people in Nigeria are generally closed-minded, which is one of the problems I have with Nigeria. I've always called it out. If you want to grow from a place of darkness, a place of neglect, a place of failure, you have to open up your mind, because you never know where your blessings or your turnaround can come from. So I had to open up my mind and embrace spirituality, embrace myself for every single thing that I am and every single person that I was created to be by the supreme being that's always been behind me all my life. because I know I'm not a mistake. Even though growing up, I always thought I was a mistake. I was made to feel inferior. I was compared to my siblings. I was told that I wasn't good enough. I was told I wasn't good looking enough. I was not tall enough. I was not this enough, this and that. And also moving to America and living in a very diverse society where I'm constantly being told directly and indirectly that I'm not the standard of beauty. I'm not the standard of intelligence, a standard of class, a standard of education, standard of intelligence, the face of business, just the list goes on. So that definitely messes with their mental health. And that even challenged me to seek more truth. And I started to see some little patterns here and there. Like I said, I believe that there are three different components to a human being: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. Some people say that it's the mental is partly the emotional, or they say it's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. But I'm for the sake of this episode, I'm gonna just classify emotional as part of mental. So physical, mental, and spiritual. However, we capitalize too much on physical. We patronize physical way too much. We pay too much attention on physical. And if you've been listening to my previous episodes, my definition of success is having a balance between all three of them: physical, mental, and spiritual. If you don't have a healthy balance between all three of them, you're not successful at all. But unfortunately, we patronize physical appearance, physicality too much. A person has to look a certain way. It's all looks. You have to drive a certain type of car. You have to have a certain kind of home. You have to look a certain way. You have to have a particular skin color. You have to have a particular shape, a particular this, a particular that, for people to see your worth. You have to, it's quite sad. But the truth is, when you focus too much on one aspect of these three things, the other two aspects suffer. And because we focus too much on physical, there's barely enough being talked about mental health. I mean, there's talks of mental health here and there, but mental health is at all-time high right now. And I think I remember reading somewhere that it's bound to get even worse, And spiritual health is just something that a lot of people just don't even care about or are completely oblivious of. And I feel like this is carefully orchestrated by the devil himself. And when I say devil, I literally mean like from the pits of hell. This is not just some type of metaphor for someone else or whatnot. No, I mean the devil from the pits of hell, the dark negative energy, and not the nonsense that we've been showed in Hollywood, on movies and stuff like that. No, I believe, just like I believe in God, some type of supreme positive energy in the universe that's been there for me. I believe that there is a complete opposite of that, a dark energy, a dark matter, dark spirit out there who is constantly working overtime trying to lure people into darkness. That being said, I have mentioned three components of a human being. I'm also going to say that I believe that the human race is categorized into three different sections. I believe that there is the elite, there is the puppet, and there is the masses. The elite is the 1%, the one the people in power, the people in charge, the people who make influence, who make boss moves. If they speak, the world listens, the world shakes. Those people, I believe that these people are, I don't know who they are, I don't know what they look like. I'm not trying to seem like a conspiracy theorist. I know that there's a lot of people have all kinds of what's it called? All kinds of theories out there about lizard this and aliens that and this and that. I'm not one of those people. I mean, not that I'm insulting any one of those people at all, but I'm just saying that I believe that there are some elite people, some people all the way on top who don't necessarily have to work for the rest of their lives, who make boss moves and they have so much power and so much influence, and the rest of the world listens to them and do what they want. These are the 1%, and I believe that these people have acquired this type of power and influence because they literally sold their souls to the devil. This particular devil that I'm talking about, as in the devil from the pits of hell, that 1%. So now the second category would be the puppets. These puppets are being promised the same elite status if they do the elite's bidding. So It could be, I believe that these puppets are like in the forms of, I don't know, pop stars, celebrities. You know, they promise you, oh, you too can have this. You can live a good life just like me if you do this, if you do that, if you do this. You know, so you have these celebrities. I believe a lot of people in Hollywood, a lot of people in what's it called? A lot of people in entertainment, because these are the people who influence the world. They call the shots. They're the trendsetters and things like that. You know, so you tell these people that if you do this, if you do that, if you sign this contract, you sign that, and you do this and you do this, you can become as famous, you can become as relevant, you can become this, you can become that. And then these people, they fall for it, you know, because a lot of these people are coming from nothing. I'm not saying all of them, you know, of course not. A lot of these people come from nothing. Take, for instance, a young black guy from, I don't know, Detroit, who comes from the ghetto. Maybe father wasn't even present. Mother was, I don't know, just sleeping around, I guess. Sisters sleeping around. There's a lot of drugs, alcohol, in and out of jail. There's just almost no opportunity whatsoever. This person has never had any form of reasonable employment whatsoever. And now you're dangling dollar bills in front of this person, asking them to sign this dotted line and become, I guess, a rapper. You can become a rapper. Again, I'm not condemning rapping at all. That's not what this video is about. I'm just saying in general. This is just a generalization, right? Sign the dotted line, and then this rapper goes around and starts singing signed in a record label, and starts singing all kinds of demonic stuff, you know, singing about glorifying extreme sexuality, extreme violence, you know, singing about shooting this person in the head and breaking this person's head, and, you know, violence, and glorifying violence, considering the fact that you're coming from a place that when you were a kid, you didn't have anyone that looked like you that you could look up to. You had no black people just like you that you could have looked up to. Your father wasn't there. Your mother wasn't there. You didn't have anyone influential, not even on TV. When you turn on TV, you didn't have any positive role models. Now you've had a platform. You've been given a platform for you to influence people, right? But because you're so hungry for this money that's been promised to you, you pump more trash into your community. Because now you have young black boys or young black girls who look up to you because they don't have anybody else to look up to, just like you didn't have anyone to look up to, right? They look up to you, and then they see you as quote unquote successful, because that is the face of success that has been marketed to us. You have Gucci now, you have Fendi, you have Porsche, you have this, you have mansions and whatnot. Now this little black boy who was basically going down the same path as you looks up to you and wants to be just like you. But the reality is that you are just a puppet. You are just the devil's puppet, because now you're pumping more trash into the world. And it breaks my heart when I see a lot of these rappers and a lot of these entertainment people equate success with rapping. Again, there's nothing wrong with rapping per se, again, but I'm just saying, like, not all rap is good rap. Let's keep it real, okay? And I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, because I do listen to rap. You know, I love the beat. A lot of times I usually don't pay attention to the lyrics, but I love the beat. Rap, hip hop, not just rap, not just hip hop, entertainment in general, country included, whatever, pop, top 40 pop. I don't know what these titles are called, but again, the devil finds a way to penetrate in literally everything good, especially everything good, you know. So now you're further pumping trash into your community and making it worse, you know, considering that the fact that you're a minority, and most minorities, if not all minorities in this country, are basically struggling for relevance, and because you've been promised chicken change, really, you know, because at the end of the day, $1 million is nothing but chicken change, considering the fact that you're selling your soul. But the truth is, it's all a lie, though. It's all a lie. They're telling you that you have to do this in order for you to be like them, but you will never be like them. You can never be an elite. You cannot, because once you stop signing your contract, once you stop hustling, once you stop singing, when you stop doing this, you're broke. You're going back to Brokeville, you know. So now you have to, it's a rat race. You have to continue with this rat race continuously if you want to continue showing off your Gucci this and Gucci that, and your private jet and this and that, you know. And if you don't believe me, look at some of the celebrities right now. I'm not gonna call names, but just take a quick Google. And some of the celebrities suffering right now because the economy is broken, the economy is down, so they're not able to do what they're supposed to do to make money. They're not able to hustle. They're not able to sing. They're not able to shake this and shake that, because everything is shut down. A lot of them, they can't pay their mortgage because they're so in debt. As you're making $10 million, $10 million is leaving your bank account because you have to maintain an image. If not, you will fall off, and then you're going back to Brokeville. And people will make fun of you when they're used to seeing you chilling and eating with the big boys and the big girls, and now you're coming back to the ghetto that you're from in Detroit. These are puppets. These are not people that we need to look up to as a community. Again, this is not just black folks either. I'm just talking about in general. You don't have to be black to be a puppet. It comes in every form, every gender, every race, every ethnicity, every nationality. The devil is in literally every single street, every single corner, looking for ways to penetrate. So these are the puppet. And then the third group of people, I believe, are the masses. Now the puppets are 1%, just like the elites are 1%. The masses are 98%. 98%. That's who the devil really wants, because 98%, that's the masses. That's bigger than the other 2%. The more, the merrier. The devil wants all of these people dancing to his wavelength, or its wavelength, or her wavelength. That's what the devil truly is interested in, because the devil understands there's a lot of brokenness in the society. A lot of us are truly broken. Doesn't matter how Gucci you try to portray your life to be on social media. You have this, you have that, or you have all this, red bone, yellow bone, long hair, this and that, big whatever, flashy cars, whatever. Every single one of us, nobody alive right now or has ever lived really that does not suffer some level of brokenness. And because people are broken, the devil knows that if people are broken and empty, they're going to look for some type of outlet, something to ease up the stress, ease up the pain. So because these puppets are constantly being portrayed to us and shown to us in the media every day, we broken masses, every single one of us, we look up to these people as the standard. When whatever rapper is talking about shoot this nigga in the head and shoot this and do this and do that, you're sitting there broken thinking that, hey, if you do this too, you too will be cool as this rapper, or shake your ass and do this and do, things like that. You too think or get pregnant for this person so that you can have child support for 18 years because all the cool female celebrities are doing it anyway. So get your bag and keep moving. You're sitting there broken thinking that if you do that too, you too can be popping just like that celebrity. But it's all a lie. This is why I believe that there's war against spirituality. The further the human race, we stray from God, the more blind we are, the more doomed we are. Seriously. And the devil knows that. These dark hours, things are getting worse. The devil is working overtime and looking for every single opportunity to penetrate. And this is nothing to... the devil likes people when they're weak. The devil likes people when they're vulnerable, when they're young. The young people are the most vulnerable. Young people are the most vulnerable because they don't know any better. Young people are the most vulnerable when it comes to when it comes to the devil. This is why every time I see somebody trying to get married or having a kid or talking about trying to have a kid, I always ask, are you ready to have that kid? Do not have a kid that you're not ready for, because there's a lot of evil in this world. I'm not trying to scare anyone. There's a lot of evil in this world. And it's very important that you're strong enough to deflect your own evil and strong enough to deflect the evil that's going to try to penetrate that kid's soul, because you're responsible for that kid now. Without you, the kid will not be here. So you need to be doing that. You need to be healing from your hurt. You need to be healing from every single garbage that the world has pumped on you. You need to wake up. Again, we human beings, we human race, the human race, everyone included, black, white, and everything in between, we are all under attack. I believe that there's definitely war against spirituality. And one thing that I will say is a way to deflect this and change this is by redefining success, what we call success. We need to stop equating success with just physicality. The bigger your butt is does not mean that you're now the baddest. the bigger your house is, the bigger your car, the whatever it is, we need to stop. Physical is not just physical. There's more to us. There's more to us than the physical. Because if you patronize physical only, your mental health suffers, your spiritual health suffers, and the devil is happy. I'm not trying to sound like I'm not a preacher. I'm not trying to sound like a Bible freak or religious at all. I'm not, no disrespect to anyone who is. No disrespect to anyone who is religious at all, but this is just me sharing my knowledge of what I've observed. And if my views change or get better over time, I will definitely update you guys, and also update myself as well. But this is really what I believe. There's definitely war against spirituality, and we people, every single one of us, this is not just black people, this is not just minorities, this is not just people who are socially marginalized or systemically marginalized. This is for every single one, privileged or not, including people who are privileged. Matter of fact, especially people who are privileged, because you're the most blinded by this. If you're the type of person who's walking around thinking that there's nothing going on in this world, there's everything's Gucci, everything's perfect, life is perfect, you're this and that, you're probably blinded. You're so blinded by your privilege that you don't see the hurt around you. There's too much hurt in this world, and there's always room for healing. Another thing I will add to is while we're seeking spirituality, one of the things that helped me attain spirituality is soul searching. I feel like soul searching is not done, or at least projected or marketed enough within our society, the human society. We need to soul search as individuals. Every single one of us alive right now, we're not mistakes. There's a reason why we exist, exist with the people who exist, and when and how we exist. Nothing is by chance. That's just my belief, But you need to soul search as to what it is about you that is unique. Think about it. Just think about it real quick. Nobody has ever existed like you in the exact same form before. Not with your voice, your height, your looks, your race, your hair, your DNA, every single thing in the 100% exact same form. None. This is your opportunity to showcase your individuality to the universe. This is your very opportunity. So why in the hell would you try to live a life like somebody else when you're being told that, oh, you have to do this for you to be successful, you have to do this for you to be relevant, you have to do this for you to make money, you have to be like somebody else, you have to look up to somebody else? No. Channel your individuality and project it into the world. We need to soul search. The more you soul search, the more you see things that tick you as a person. I believe that even though that the devil is alive and the devil is definitely working overtime, I do believe that human beings are inherently good. That's just my opinion. I do understand that some people think that human beings are inherently evil. I don't think so. I think that human beings are inherently good. However, I do believe that human beings can be inherently selfish. Selfish and evil are two totally different things. But seriously, soul search. And if you don't know how to soul search, like I shared in my very last episode, there's so many resources out there. We have way more resources out there today, more than ever. The internet and the computer, which can be a blessing or a curse, depending on who's using it. You have so much access to so much knowledge. Reading. There's so many books. Even if you don't like to read books, I personally don't enjoy reading books. I listen to audiobooks though. I enjoy reading articles. On the other hand, I'm always reading an article. Always. I read at least 3 articles a day. TED Talks is another one. I don't know what I would do without TED Talks. I don't know what I would do without YouTube. Like literally, when I thank God for my blessings, YouTube is one of those things that I thank God for. YouTube amongst other things too, but seriously, YouTube, the internet is right there. Every single one of us, for the most part, at least if you live in the West, you have access to internet. We have access to some type of computer, a cell phone or something like that. It just hurts my heart when I see people complain that they're bored. This is just damn ridiculous. You should never be bored. It's like your house is burning, right? And you're bored. Why would you be bored when your house is burning? There's always so much room to fix something. There's so much hurt. There's so much brokenness everywhere around you. And if you don't know where to start with you. Seriously, I literally stand in front of my mirror and look at myself and ask, what should I fix today? And it's not just physical, I'm always critiquing myself, sometimes a little too harsh, my behavior. Did I say the wrong thing? Did I do this? And I'm still learning. It's still trying to error. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I haven't figured out. No, I've made so much mistakes again. I'm not making excuses, but again, this is all try and error. I didn't have the exposure that I'm supposed to have. I didn't have the mother or the father who was loving enough to teach me some of these things. I was not exposed to them. I didn't grow up with them. I didn't have anyone to look up to. But God somehow gave me the intelligence to be able to come up with some of these things. Give me some blessings, being intuitive, being stubborn, being open-minded and things like that. I've been able to get to where I'm at. And it's just, I feel like it's my moral duty to share some of these things. But seriously, it hurts me when I see people who say that they're bored or they're lonely or this and that. There's a lot to do. If you're lonely, even if you're lonely, that's a problem that you need to fix. Instead of sitting there feeling sorry about yourself, get active, get proactive, look for ways that you can change your predicament. Seriously, even if it's as quick as getting on the internet and going on Google and searching, how can I stop being lonely? Even go to YouTube, you see TED Talks. People, some of them may not necessarily relate to you, because I understand that people's situations are different. There's sometimes when people are in situations that they didn't plan on or they don't want to be part of, and they're stuck in it. I understand that, but for the most part, check what your options are. I'm pretty sure there's definitely an answer for you out there, but you have to be open for it. You have to look. You have to proactively look. That's the thing. The answers are there. They're not going to come knocking on the door. But seriously, there's an active agenda, war against spirituality. Seriously. And I charge everyone from today henceforth to make a conscious effort to preserve your spirituality, because without spirituality, you are nothing but a failure. Doesn't matter what kind of car you drive, doesn't matter how good looking you are, doesn't matter what kind of privilege you have, doesn't matter what kind of passport you have, doesn't matter anything. Without spirituality, your physical, your mental, and your spiritual have to be on point. And again, these things are continuous, by the way. You don't just, it's not something that you get to the point, oh, I've attained physical, I've attained mental, I've attained spiritual, so therefore now I can chill. No, you have to maintain it. You have to constantly maintain. Just like when you go to the gym, you can't go to the gym and get a six-pack and then you stop going to the gym. No, you have to keep going to the gym to maintain your physical, right? Exactly. You have to keep going to the mental gym. You have to keep going to the spiritual gym. It's a process. And even if you don't know how to, this is also my belief too. If you don't know how to, if you genuinely open your mind to the universe, knowledge, information will flow to you. Seriously. But you have to be genuine. As long as you're genuinely interested, and your motives are selfless. That's the word, selfless. You have to be selfless. It can't be for the wrong reasons. Oh, you want to do this. Let's say you want to be a doctor just so you can show your enemies that you're now a doctor. You want to wear Gucci so you can tell people, yep, I made it too. So you can tell, no. I'm talking about like when you genuinely want something that is for your own good, for your own betterment. Even if you don't know how to, even if you don't know what that thing is, even you don't know where to go, if you open up your heart to the universe and cry out to the universe, I believe that it will flow to you. And I'm saying this with 1000% confidence because I've seen it manifest in my life as a person. Okay, this is how I got here. And I'm not even Gucci at all. Okay, trust me, I'm not one of those people I don't make that kind of money, really. I am just okay because I have found a way to maintain physical, mental, and spiritual. I am nowhere where I want to be. Again, I'm not perfect, far from perfect. I have made so much mistakes. I have said the wrong things to the wrong people. I have been to the wrong places, engaged in the wrong activities, done the wrong things, and I feel so bad for every single one of those negative things that I've done. And I've tried to take the initiative to call myself out and keep working on myself as a human being because I genuinely want to be a better person. This life is not for the birds, but I believe if you're open-minded, you can attain it as well. So brothers and sisters, every single one of you, please, I challenge you to channel and push for spirituality. Again, if you want to truly attain success, there must be harmony and balance between the body, the mind, and the soul, which is the physical, the mental, and the spiritual, even though the devil tries to teach you otherwise. That being said, this is the very end of this particular episode. If you like what you heard, please subscribe, like, share with your friends and family. And please subscribe on YouTube, like, share, and hit the bell notification. I'm going to try to upload podcasts and YouTube as much as possible as soon as I can. And also, please visit my website at let's.org. Let's talk about us.org. That's let's talk about us.org. Facebook is Let's Talk About Us with Uche. Instagram is Let's Talk with Uche. And if you just want to show support, love, or suggestions, or whatever story you want to share, you know, please go ahead and send me an email at letstalkwithuche@gmail.com. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys and talk to you guys in the next episode.